Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. What is this video about? Well, I'm going to try and do a datamosh in Jitter. Well, it's not really a datamosh. Datamoshing is quite a specific and detailed and cumbersome process when sort of done properly using things like FFmpeg, FFFFFFFmpeg and AvidMux to, badly encode a video file and then do something to the iframes and then open it in AvidMux and delete the iframes where there are cuts, or copy and paste motion vectors onto other frames so you get that kind of looping kind of thing. I'm not really going to do that. Really what I'm going to do is I'm going to displace a texture in a feedback loop using motion tracking from the webcam, but it kind of looks a little bit datamoshy. So I'm calling it datamoshing nearly in Jitter. So in order to do this, you're going to need Max, and you're going to need to go to the package manager, and you're going to need to download this thing called cv.jit, which is some externals which you can get for free, and they do a lot of cool stuff with motion tracking and blob tracking and stuff like that. So I'm going to be using some of that to motion track myself with my camera. And to start with, I'm going to look at an object called, no, it's not called JIT, it's called jit.c. Oh my goodness me. Let's zoom in a little bit, shall we? cv.jit.lkflow. Let's open the help file. And so already we can see that it's kind of reporting my movements based on whether they're going up, down, left, or right. So I'm going to do some stuff with that and see if I can get the data that I need in order to kind of do the motion tracking. So I'm going to make a jit.grab, and I'm going to do the resolution sort of, for the dim's quite low. Let's go 160 by 90. And let's make a jit.world at enable 1 at floating 1. And put that over there and bang this. So this is going to be the camera that we're going to use to do the motion tracking. And I'm going to, actually, I've got a snippet somewhere. I want to go and get my snippet. What do I call it? Grabber. There we go. Yeah, I want to take some of this stuff. I want to take this and this. Let's get rid of that for now. I don't need that. I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to put that into this grab. This is already looking like a complete mess. Anyway, let's just get the, I want the Brio. Yeah, that's the camera I want. Okay, good. So let's make a open message. Let's open that. And then if I make a jit.p window, and put that in there. There I am. Hello, everyone. Right. Okay. That's good. That's working. So this is a terrible mess already. Let's put this over here and put this up here and that there. Okay, fine. So now what I want to do, let's just go straight into this and see what comes out. Probably not very much. No, nothing. Okay. So I think I maybe need to do a little bit of treatment to the camera. So first of all, I kind of want to mirror, got a really squeaky chair. What I want to do is I want to invert that. I'm going to make a jit.dim map at invert 1. And we can just sort of slide this in there. Okay, so now it's more like a mirror. Okay, so now I'm mirroring myself, which is very nice. And I think I want to do a jit.change, and then a RGB to Luma. Okay, now I'm black and white. And now let's put that into the cv.jit.lk flow and see what that gives us. Well, hey, all right, so we've got some stuff down here. This is stuff happening. So when I move, stuff happens. When I don't, nothing, right? Okay, so we've got a lot of data in there. What are we going to do with it? Well, we're going to have to sort of like unpack it and split it out into all the various things that we need. So I'm going to sort of slide it a little bit of filtering to make a jit.slide here at slide up to at slide down to, and then, yeah, there we go. So it's a little bit more ghostly. Right. Okay. So now I kind of, I need to unpack this stuff. Already getting a little bit much to manage. So let's do it over here. Let's do a jit.unpack Let's see. Let's put this in here. Let's just see what comes out if we do this. Okay, so that's kind of like, yeah. So that, all right, that's okay. That's cool. What's this? And what's this? Right. Okay. So this, sorry, squeaky chair. So this first one, I think, is when I'm moving to the right. And this one is when I'm moving down. Right. Okay. So I'm moving down here. Interesting. Up, down, left, just up, just down and right. Okay. I'm not doing this from memory. I have a screenshot of a practice patch because this is incredibly complicated. So I'm not entirely doing this from memory. I wish I was. But I know that somewhere in this help file, there's this visualizer sub-patch thing. Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to get this and party. So yeah, I'm going, yeah, it says here, horizontal movement, left is green, right is red. Okay. Blue is up and down is yellow. All right. So if we go like that, moving up and down with my hand. Okay, cool. Right. I'm going to take that and party. Let's get rid of this. Let's put this in here. Let's paste that and let's do away with this stuff. Let's come out of this. And maybe, okay, I realized this sub patch, I actually have a sort of modified version of this sub patch, which I got from somewhere else. So actually, I don't want this. I want this in here and this in here. And I think what this kind of does inside is sort of splits them into right, left, down and up on sort of separate planes. Let's see what we've got here. So let's put this one here and have a look at that. So that is, I'm only moving right, I think. Yeah. And then this one is I'm moving left. Yeah. Great. Okay. And then this one will be up. Yeah. Or is that down? No, I think that's down. It's very difficult to tell. And then this one is up, I think. Yeah. Up, down, left, right. Okay. So we've got all of these separate planes of data for how the camera is moving. Let's just make them all a little bit smaller or something like this. Oh God, that looks awful. Right. Okay. Let's okay. Right. All right. Okay. Fine. All right. That'll do. Right. Okay. Let's put this over here. So probably don't need that anymore. Okay. So now we kind of need to do a little bit more maths. Let's use JIT.3m, which is report mean, and max values. Okay. As floats. Yeah, that's useful. Okay, so let's come out of this first one and have a look at what we get out of this. What's this second? The mean outlet. Right. So, right, as I move right, we get some activity here. It's slightly going above zero rather. And if I go left, sort of, okay, we're going to have to work this out. Yeah, we'll get there. It's going to look great. Okay, so this should be if I move left, then we get something above 0. Okay, that's fine. And then this one, if I move down, and then this one, if I move up. Okay, so these are these numbers are kind of going to be how much we're going to apply the distortion to the texture when it's in the feedback loop. It's kind of going to be the gain or the sort of the attenuation, the offset, and this movement data is going to be the pixels that get moved around. I think, right? Okay, I'm going to go and get my grabber again, and we're going to make the texture that we're going to do the distortion on. I was going to get my grabber, and yeah, I don't really need that bit. Okay, let's get this over here. Let's bang, get a dev list. Let's choose the Brio, and then let's do an open message here. I did try this using one camera. I didn't really get particularly good results. Oh, we can use the new jit.bang, the best thing that's ever been invented ever. Right, okay, so there I am. Hello everyone, I'm back. So now we need to get this into some sort of texture. First of all, I'm going to do the same thing I did with this, which is sort of invert the image so that I'm like a mirror, so that when I'm playing this in real time with my hands, with my camera, I know that even though that it looks like it's my right hand, it's my left hand. Okay, that's good. So now we need to get this into a texture, jit.gl.texture. Let's put that there. Okay, now we're in texture land. And I'm going to put that into a ZL. Well, hang on, I just zoomed in a little bit here. A ZL.reg. And I'm going to store that frame. That's a very nice, strong pause face there. So yes, what this is going to do is it's going to store that frame until I bang it out here like that. So now I can get ready to take a photo. There we go. All right. So we're going to store a frame and then we're going to put that into a feedback loop and keep banging it back and round at the frame rate. So to do that, I'm going to make a jit.gl.pix, put that in there. Then we're going to come out of another zl.reg, which we are going to bang at frame rate here like this. Come out of that into there and then make a jit.gl.texture. And put that in there. And then that can just go straight back in. So that is our texture feedback loop there. It's a little ugly, but that's kind of what it's doing. Right, okay, so now when I bang this, stack overflow, I've done it wrong. Right, okay, I've made a mistake. Okay, I know what the mistake is. The bang is in the wrong place. We need to bang here on this inlet. Let's zoom in a bit. This inlet, and then we put the texture in there. Now we're not going to get a stack overflow. So now I can take a new picture. There we go. Right. And so in this jit.gl.pix, that is where we are going to do the stuff with all these things down here. So let's go into the jit.gl.pix. And if my memory serves me right, we go sample and we take the normalized coordinates of the input 1. And we're simply going to add them to what comes in on inlet 2, which is going to be all our motion tracking stuff. So if we kind of start with this, we get nothing. Because I'm not plugging anything in. So yeah, now we need to get the texture from this flow, LK flow thing, out into this other inlet here on jit.gl. Make a jit.gl.texture, put that there. We can go into this from here. Maybe we could say some things at adapt 0, at filter none, so that it doesn't really do anything to, let's see what that's doing. Okay, so, all right, yeah, that's kind of working. All right, so let's just start by just plugging that in and see what happens. Bosh, right, it's all just gone completely. It's just exploded into a big cloud of gray. So yeah, so that is just too much stuff. You know, it's kind of cool. It's glitchy, but it's not really what we want. We need to kind of tame everything a little bit. So we're going to do that in the jit.gl.pix by creating a parameter where we can use the mean numbers of all of this motion tracking to control how much distortion happens. So I'm going to make a parameter. I'm going to call the parameter mult. Mult, it's fine. Let's say 0, 0. And yeah, that could be a good start. So we'll do multiply by mult. So yeah, I guess it's probably not news to a lot of people, but I just learned that you can make params with multiple values. I'm interested about that. So okay, let's right click here. Let's go and find our mult. So now if I give these something like incredibly small numbers, 0.01 and 0.01, and try that again. Okay, now, it's already kind of doing it. Let's zoom out a little bit and sort of make this a little bit bigger. In fact, let's put it into a video plane. Let's make a jit.gl.videoplane at transform reset 2. Let's come out of the jit.gl.pix. Now we can see it on our world thing here. So it's kind of already doing it. See, look at that. Wow. But it's not really quite good enough. Let's take another photo and keep really still and then start moving. Yeah, it kind of works, but it's a little bit much, but it is still kind of cool. you can see that I am, maybe we need like a point of view reference of what I'm doing. Yeah, okay, so you can sort of see as I move like this. Let's take another picture. I'm sort of moving everything around. It's kind of fun. All right. So let's work with these numbers down here. We kind of want to, what do we want to do here? What happens if we sort of add these two together? Let's just add these two numbers together and see what we get. Because we kind of want to go plus and minus. No, that's not happening. Maybe we need to invert this one. Let's say 1. No. -1. -1. Okay. -0. No. Oh, I'm going to have to use scale maybe. Well, let's try scale 0 to 1, 0 to -1. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, all right. Let's put this like something like this. Okay, so now we're kind of like, if we're going left or if we're going right, we'll get a positive value above 0. And if we go left, we'll get a negative 0 value beneath 0. It's complicated. Right. Okay. Let's make this a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to make a prepend, or maybe I could do pack mult 0, 0. And if I add these two numbers together, then I think what will happen is if I move one way, we get a positive. Yeah, so we're getting a positive if I move right and a negative if we move left. So that can be our X and Y displacement. And then we'll kind of do the same thing with this one as well. So I'm just going to take a copy of that, put that in there, and then take a copy of this, add these two together. And then that can go into the Y values. This should all be working now. Yeah, okay, so now let's take another picture. Whoa, it's still really aggressive. So we're going to have to maybe attenuate that a little bit. Let's maybe make another param here. Param gain will give us at min, oh, I need to do at min 0.0001 and at max 0.001. Or maybe even 0.01. Okay, really, really small numbers. And we'll put the, where would we put that? Let's maybe put that here. So let's do multiply by gain. Okay, let's come out of here. Let's go back here. Let's go prepend gain. Or we can actually just use the, attribute thing here. Okay, so let's set a really small value. Oh, that's much better. I tried to go with like a really ugly color scheme today. Black, white, my skin, the chair. Okay, a little bit more maybe. Can we go a little bit more on the gain? Let's maybe set the maximum here to 0.1 maybe. Maximum gain 0.1. Oh, that's much better. Look at that. So as I move, yeah, it's sort of working. Let's get rid of this. We don't need that anymore. This is kind of a mess. Let's put this here and let's zoom out a little bit. Let's move everything over here. That can go there. Let's make this nice and big. All right, let's put a little timer in to do the banging of the snapshot. Let's just use a speed limb, let's say every 5 seconds. From the render bang, from jit.bang, it will just take a photograph and then we can just sort of dance around in front of the camera and see what happens. Experiment, yeah. It's still quite aggressive, but it is working. Again, I could get as a reference here for what I'm doing, cross-reference, we can sort of look at the two of them here like this. Okay. Yeah. Wow. I'm painting with my hands. You can sort of twist with the hands like that. I think maybe I've got no, it is moving left and right. and it is moving up and down, but it's also kind of moving in the other direction as well. It's very kind of weird. Maybe we could do some stuff. Maybe we could do some stuff here with, we could maybe apply some thresholds. Let's go into this bit here. And let's maybe make a JIT dot greater than or equals to, and let's say at val 0.5. Let's unplug. Oh no, don't delete it. Let's just unplug them, plug that in there. And then what that's going to do is just do a little bit more of a hard comparison. So it's kind of going to be brighter if it's above 0.5 and black if it's beneath. That's kind of all right. Let's do that for all of these. Just connect these here like that. Get this one, get these, connect that there like that, that in there. And then this one can go here. Let's select those, disconnect that there, plug that in there like that. All right. And then if we wanted, we could have a float here to sort of set a threshold on the, on how black or white it is. So if we do 0.9, we have to move like really hard and then we kind of just get black or white. But if it's 0, let's try 0 work. So 0 is a little bit more gray. There's a little bit more information. So let's put it back to 0.5. So now it's maybe just a little bit more clearly defined in sort of where the movement is. Well, there's less movement data in certain areas. So if I wanted to sort of wiggle my hand here like that, turn it, do little circles, then it's only just going to sort of focus in on that bit, whereas all the other stuff kind of gets filtered out because it's just 0. So there's no information, I think. Or I could just be talking nonsense. This is very new to me. I've always sort of kind of wanted to do it. I've done Datamosh videos before. I'll put some links in the description. I did the thing where you put it into AvidMux and screw around with it, and it was loads of fun. But I've always kind of thought, surely there's a way to do this in real time. So this is kind of nearly it. But otherwise, it's fun. What have I got? What have I done here? Oh my God! All of that has been going on in the background the whole time. Right. Close that. So maybe I'll do a prepend gain here, and I'll make a float and put that in there. And then this we could say, let's just set some minimum maximum values. Let's say, ridiculously long number, 0.01 and 0.01 or 0.1. Okay. 0.1 seems to work okay. Close the inspector, please. Right, okay. So that's kind of it, really. And this will work with a video as well. You can put a video file in, but I thought doing it with a webcam would be kind of fun. So yeah, we can sort of swoosh everything around. Maybe if we sort of pull the gain down much more to sort of, oh, I'm using the wrong thing. Here we go. Let's pull this down to like really low. Yeah, so that's kind of not really a huge amount of movement at all. What's a good value here? Let's try 0.001 maybe. Let's take another photo. No, nearly. That's still kind of cool. Still doing something. Let's try 0.01. Okay, that's probably a good value. So I might just do load mess 0.01. So when the patch loads, it just sets that gain like that. Okay, that's kind of nice. All right, let's have another look at our work. And let's do, let's have me here so that we can do a comparison so that you can see that it's legit. There we go. So yeah, it's not really data moshing. We're kind of just moving pixels around in a feedback loop using motion tracking, sort of. But it's kind of cool. It's got that look about it. It's kind of fun. Right, so there you go. That was really complicated, but we got there. So let's just do a quick recap. First of all, you want to go and get the cv.jit package from the package manager, and then you want to just do what I've done. Best of luck. I hope it works. datamoshing sort of in Jitter. Okay, I'm going to go and put this on my Patreon now, where if you'd like to not follow along and just download the patch and screw around yourself, you can do that. And your support goes towards making more videos like this of me dancing. Voguing. Voguer. Okay, see you next time. Bye.